Hello to all my insomniacs and night owls out there. If you're up this late, then you're in the right place. This is Static After Dark. Now grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a little drink, and let's get into the story. Tonight's story comes from a caller in Alabama. They told me this happened while they were waiting for a late night bus home from college during Thanksgiving break. And before we begin, I should probably warn you, if you hate bugs, you may want to skip this one. I know how crazy this is going to sound, but I don't care if no one ever believes us because I know what happened and what took my friend Rachel. The three of us had been waiting at the Montgomery bus station for almost 2 hours. It was the night before Thanksgiving break, and every bus had been delayed because of storms rolling through Alabama. The station itself was nearly empty. Just me, my two friends, Rachel and Olivia, and this guy sitting alone near the vending machines. He wore this long brown trench coat and an old dark hat pulled over his face. Even inside the station, he never took either of them off. And the whole time, he kept mumbling, quietly, constantly. At first, I thought maybe he was talking on the phone or praying or something, but after a while, I realized he was just repeating the same low sound over and over under his breath. Not words exactly, just this wet, whispering noise. Rachel immediately started making fun of him. That was just kind of who she was. Pretty, loud, the type of girl who never thought consequences applied to her. Olivia told her to stop staring because it was rude, but Rachel just laughed and pulled out her phone. She started secretly filming him for TikTok, doing fake commentary under her breath. Oh my god, you guys, this is literally how every serial killer documentary starts. Olivia tried not to laugh, but I remember feeling embarrassed watching her do it. But the man never reacted, didn't move, didn't even look at us. Just sat there mumbling softly to himself. Rachel eventually got bored and decided to push it further. She stood up and said, "Watch this." Before we could stop her, she walked over and sat directly beside him. I remember feeling this awful knot in my stomach. She turned her phone toward herself and started fake vlogging with him in the background. "Guys, I just met my future husband." The man kept mumbling, didn't even acknowledge her. Rachel laughed awkwardly at first, then less awkwardly, then not at all. From where we were sitting, I saw her smile slowly fade. She tilted her head like she was trying to hear what he was saying, and suddenly she stood up. Fast. Way faster than she sat down. When she came back to us, Olivia asked her what had happened. Rachel tried laughing it off, but her face looked pale. She said, "He just kept making these weird noises." I asked what kind of noises, and after a pause, she whispered, "I don't know, like clicking or something." Then she shook it off immediately and told us she was just overreacting. But after that, she stopped filming him, stopped talking about him entirely. About 20 minutes later, Olivia said she needed the restroom before the bus arrived. I went with her, mostly because I didn't want to stay out there alone with that trench coat guy. Rachel stayed behind, scrolling on her phone. The second we stepped into the bathroom, we knew something was horribly wrong. There were bugs everywhere. Tiny black beetles crawling near the sinks, long-legged insects skittering across the tile floor. Something buzzed past my ear. Olivia cursed and nearly slipped trying to back away from a cluster of roaches gathered near the drain. The whole place smelled damp, rotten, like wet dirt after rain. I remember saying we should just leave and wait outside instead, but then Rachel came into the bathroom complaining dramatically. "Oh my god, what died in here?" She immediately walked into one of the stalls while Olivia and I stood near the entrance, trying not to touch anything. I kept hearing movement inside the walls, like scratching sounds, like hundreds of tiny legs moving behind the tiles. Then over the station speakers we heard, "Final boarding for Route 66 northbound." Our bus. Olivia immediately started banging on Rachel's stall door. "Rachel, hurry up." Rachel groaned dramatically from inside. "Relax, I'm coming." but she sounded distracted. I asked if she was okay, and after a second she said, "Do you guys hear that?" We both stopped talking. From somewhere inside the bathroom, we heard faint clicking noises, soft but rapid, almost like insects crawling together. Rachel opened the stall looking visibly unsettled. Then she rolled her eyes and said we were freaking ourselves out. The three of us hurried back towards the waiting area just as the bus finally pulled in outside. And that's when Rachel stopped suddenly. "My phone." Olivia groaned. "You're kidding." "I left it in the bathroom." The bus driver stepped off holding a clipboard and started calling out names. That's when the trenchcoat man finally stood up. For the first time all night, he moved. Strangely. Not limping exactly, but jerking. Like his joints bent wrong beneath the coat. He slowly started walking towards the bus, and the closer he got, the louder the clicking sounds became. The bus driver looked irritated at first, then confused, then disturbed. The man stopped directly in front of her. She glanced beneath the brim of his hat and screamed. Not startled, not surprised, a full, blood-curdling scream. She stumbled backwards so hard she dropped her clipboard and sprinted into the bus without saying a word. Olivia grabbed my arm immediately. We ran after her. The second we stepped onto the bus, I turned back towards the station entrance. The trenchcoat man was standing completely still in the doorway, blocking it. Then Rachel came running back from the bathroom holding her phone. "What is wrong with you guys?" Nobody answered. The driver was crying hysterically in the front seat trying to shut the doors. Rachel rolled her eyes and walked up behind the man. "Either get on or get out of the way, creep." No response. She shoved his shoulder and instantly froze. Slowly, a long pale thing slid from beneath the sleeve of the trench coat and wrapped around her wrist. At first, I thought it was a finger. Then I realized it was moving wrong. Segmented. Withering. A centipede. Rachel screamed and tried pulling away, but more things started unfolding from inside the coat. Long, twitching legs, black, crawling masses. The trench coat opened slightly, and something underneath shifted like a nest collapsing inward. Thousands of insects poured beneath the fabric. Centipedes, roaches, things with too many legs, too many eyes. Rachel shrieked as the thing pulled her violently against its chest. The sound it made. God, the sound. It sounded like millions of tiny legs skittering together. The bus driver slammed the door shut while Rachel pounded against the thing, screaming for help. Then the thing wrapped around her completely, and the screaming stopped. We drove away while Olivia sobbed beside me. I looked back once through the rear window. The trenchcoat figure was still standing there, outside the station beneath the flickering lights, completely motionless, as if Rachel had never existed at all. Police searched the station for hours afterwards. They found Rachel's phone in the bathroom, still recording. But according to the officers, the video showed almost nothing. Just shaky footage of the man sitting in the waiting area, head lowered, mumbling. And the audio was just crawling sounds. Thousands of tiny legs moving against each other. And that's why I don't do public transportation. No roach man gonna get me. If you have your own terrifying tale that you love to share, please feel free to reach out. Just don't be surprised if something answers back. My name is Sam. I was your host for the evening, and this was Static After Dark. All right, until next time, I'll see you then.